Good morning, children. Today we are going into Unit 2. The name of the lesson is Wonders of Visible Light. So from the word Wonders of Visible Light, you have understood what is the content of the lesson, isn't it? Yes, we are going to learn about light. We are going to learn about light and what all things light helps us to do, and what are the different effects of light, all that we are going to learn through this lesson. Now I am going to do a small activity for you. You already know these activities. You would have done these things earlier. Last year we did a small experiment using a lens, isn't it? The same way we are going to do an experiment. So I have few things with me. I have a mirror. This is a mirror, and I have a torch with me. So can you think what I am going to do? Yes, I am going to burn the torch and make this light appear on another surface. So here I am going to make the light of the torch fall on the board here. So please watch. How can I make it fall? Directly I can make it fall. What are the other methods which I can make it fall if I have a mirror with me? Yes, we all know, isn't it? If I put the light on the mirror, and I focus the mirror onto the board, I can reflect the light from the mirror to the board, isn't it? So this light, source of light which is coming from the torch, I am focusing on the mirror and I am making it to fall on the board. I hope you have done all these things at home. If you have a piece of small mirror, through the sunlight we do such things at home, isn't it? So I can do this. Same way, if I have a steel plate with me, can I do the same experiment? We will try it out, isn't it? Yes. So if I have a steel plate with me, I can do the same thing. I can focus the light onto the board here. Now, two things teacher has done it for you. Now there are certain things in your textbooks which is given. That is, some things are given in your textbook. Using those things, you have to conduct the experiment and write down your findings in your notebook. I am not going to do all the things with you. These are things which are easily available in your home. You can have a steel plate, a torch is always there, a mirror, piece of mirror, a cardboard piece, and a tile piece. All those, a piece of cloth, a piece of paper, all these things are available in your home. So you have to conduct this experiment and complete the table which is given in your textbook there and write your findings. What did you find out? After doing the experiments, what did you find out? Now here, when I was focusing the light onto the mirror with the torch, we saw that the light falls on a surface. This thing is called as reflection. What is this? Reflection. So what is reflection? This phenomenon is called as reflection. So what is reflection? Reflection of light is the return of light that falls on a surface. That is, when the light falls on the surface, that is on a surface, especially smooth surfaces like a mirror, when the light falls here, this light reflects back, returns back onto another surface. This phenomenon is called as reflection. So you have to conduct the experiments. From that you will understand that when a source of light is given onto a mirror like this, the light will return back onto another surface. So here I am giving this onto the mirror, and this light which is falling on the mirror is returning back here. It is returning back onto another surface. This phenomenon is called as reflection. Now in reflection, there are two types of reflection because the surface matters. All type of surfaces, after you did the experiment, you would have understood that all type of surfaces do not produce the same type of reflection. Do not produce the same type of reflection. So here you have done the experiment using I have done the experiment using a mirror. Now, I have a cardboard piece with me. Okay. So I am trying to reflect this light from the cardboard piece. Is reflection happening there? We know it's not happening, isn't it? It is not happening. Here itself, it is getting spread out. Here itself, it is getting spread out. So, reflection does not happen in all type of surfaces. Reflection does not happen in all type of surfaces. So, there are two types of reflection. Which is the first type of reflection? When a light falls on a mirror or a steel plate or any other smooth surface like tile, it is reflected regularly. It is reflected regularly. Okay. So, when a torch light falls on a smooth surface like a glass mirror, it falls on the smooth surface like a glass mirror. This reflects when it falls like it reflects regularly. This type of reflection is called as regular reflection. So we saw when the light is falling on the mirror, it is directly reflected onto the board. That type of reflection is called as regular reflection. Because the rays which is coming in the straight manner, how it is coming in the straight way in another angle, it will reflect. That is called as regular reflection. What is the other type of reflection? That is, suppose we take this cardboard. Okay, here we saw it is not reflecting onto the wall. However, I keep it is not reflecting onto the board. What is happening here? When the light is falling here, from this place itself, it is getting spread out. So that is why it is not reflecting. It is getting spread out. For example, I will take an irregular shape. This is a tile piece, but it is irregular here. So here also it is getting spread out. This you can clearly see using a this is a laser torch. If you have this, you have to be very careful when using it. The laser ray should not go into your eye. So with the laser torch you can see very clearly. Here I hope you can see when I am putting on an irregular surface, you can see that the rays are getting spread in different directions. The rays are getting spread in different directions. Okay. So we don't get a proper reflection. But if it is on a steel plate, here you can see the light is falling onto the board. So this is regular reflection. Here we can see that on the surface is not regular. So when I am putting here itself, you can see it is going in different directions. This type of reflection, when it is not on rough places, when it is irregular, this is called as diffuse reflection. That is when the rays fall like this on a surface, irregular surface, what happens? The light will get spread in different directions. This type of reflection is called as diffused reflection. This type of reflection is called as diffuse reflection. So what is diffuse reflection? When the light falls on rough surfaces or irregular surfaces, it is reflected irregularly. Not regular, not in a correct direction, but irregularly in different directions. That type of reflection is called as irregular reflection. So we learned two types of reflection. So what is reflection? It is a light. When the light falls on a particular smooth surface, it returns back onto another surface, that is called as reflection. Now what is regular reflection? When it falls on smooth surfaces like mirror or steel plate or a tile, it will reflect normally. It will reflect regularly. That is called as regular reflection. What is irregular reflection? When the light falls on a rough surface, it will reflect in different directions. That is called as diffuse reflection. Irregularly it will reflect. That is called as diffuse reflection. Now, when you are studying at night, how are you able to see the book? If the room is fully, completely dark, will you be able to see the book which you are learning? No, isn't it? So what do? We use a source of light. Mornings, do we need a source of light? No, isn't it? Why? Yes, because the sun's light is there. We don't need another source of light. But at night, we need a source of light for us to see. So in your textbook, there is a picture of a boy studying. You can see the boy studying. So how is the boy able to see the book or the letters inside the book? Yes, it is because of the light which is falling onto the book, isn't it? So what is happening there? What is happening there? That is because the light which is falling onto the book is being reflected back into our eye and we are able to see. So the light which falls down is reflected back to our eye and that is why we are able to see. So when there is no light, we cannot see. Why can we see? We can see only because there is light. So if there is no light, we will not be able to see anything in the dark, isn't it? Our eyes take time to get adjusted to that darkness. After some time, we will be able to see because there will be some source coming from a distant area which helps us to see. But if it is pitch dark, we will not be able to see anything, isn't it? So how do we see? When the source of light gets reflected into our eye, we are able to see things. So same thing happens when you study at night. The light reflects, light from the bulb reflects onto the book and it reaches our eyes and we are able to see. Now two pictures are given in your textbook. One picture is a boy is crossing the road. It is daylight. We can understand from the picture, isn't it? It is daylight. So the driver is able to see the boy crossing the road. What light, source of light is helping the driver to see the boy there? Yes. What is the source of light which is helping the boy to see? It is the light from the sun. In the second picture, you can see a man is out in the dark and he is using a torch. So he is able to see the dog. What is the source of light which is helping the man to see the dog there? Yes, it is from the torch light. The man is able to see the dog in the dark because the light is reflected on the dog. So what is the path of the light in these two instances? In these two cases, what is the path of the light? In the beginning, in the first picture, there you can, the path of the light is drawn there, isn't it? The same way, what must you do here? You must draw the path of the light in that picture. So the first one we know it is the light from the sun. The second one we know it is the light from the torch. So how it is given in the first picture, the same way you have to write the path of the light and the reflected ray, how it is reflecting. You have to do that in your notebook. So please do that activity 2 in your notebook. Now we have seen this mirror, isn't it? Why do we use this mirror? Yes, we use this mirror to look into our face, isn't it? We have a mirror on the cupboard and we use this mirror to see our face. This type of mirror is called as a plane mirror. This is called as a plane mirror. Now, what are the peculiarities of this plane mirror? Why do we use this plane mirror? Yes, we can look at our face inside the mirror. Now, suppose I take a steel plate. What is the difference of yourself looking into the steel plate and looking into the plane mirror? That difference you have to write it in your notebook. I will not tell you. So, you look into the plane mirror and take a steel plate and look into the steel plate and see the difference of your face in the steel mirror and in the plane mirror. That you have to note down in your notebook. Now, we know that when I take a mirror like this and when I, using a torch, when I am making this light to fall here on the board here, it is getting reflected. We learnt it already, isn't it? So now this torch I am putting in such an angle so that the reflection is also coming here in an angle. I am putting here in an angle. I am keeping it in a slanting position. So this is an angle. So from an angle, if I put like this, it will not get reflected on the board. So here I am holding in such a way that it is forming an angle here. You have learned the angles in the maths, isn't it? So from this angle I am putting. Here also it is coming in an angle. Is it going up straight here? It's not going up straight. This is coming in an angle and the reflected light is also going in a slanting position. So here you can see the light is coming and falling onto the mirror and it is getting reflected onto the board. So this is a ray of light which is falling onto the mirror. And from the mirror, a ray of light is going and falling onto the board here. So this has got a particular name. So I am going to draw the mirror on the board here. So this is the plane mirror. Okay. So from this torch, a ray of light So here I will draw a line in the center. This line is called as the normal. I will explain later about it. So the ray of light from the torch comes and touches this normal line here. Okay. So this ray from the torch which is just coming, this is called as the incident ray. What is the name of that? Incident ray. When it falls here, touches here from the normal, here it will get reflected in the same way. So this is coming here and falling on the mirror. From the mirror it is getting reflected. So because it is getting reflected, this ray is called as the reflected ray. Okay, the light from the torch or the source is called as the incident ray, and the light which is reflected onto another surface is called as the reflected ray. So here you can see that an angle is formed here. Isn't it? This is the normal. Here an angle is formed. Okay. So this angle, because it is the incident ray, this angle is called as the angle of incidence. This angle is called as angle of incidence. So what will be this angle called as? Yes, this angle is called as the angle of reflection. So this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray. The angle formed between the incident ray and the normal is called the angle of incidence, and the angle which is formed between the reflected ray and the normal is called as the angle of reflection. So, to learn more about this and the measurement of the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, we are going to do a experiment using a laser torch, a glass bowl, little soap water and the mirror. Using that we will do an experiment. What you have to do is you have to write down the correct measurement into the table which is given in your textbook, and also find out the connection between the incident angle and the reflected angle, and you have to write down the inference of this experiment in your notebook. So we are going into that experiment. Dear children, Now in this lesson we already learned about reflection, what is regular reflection, what is diffuse reflection. Now we are going to learn more about angle of reflection and angle of incidence. So here previously we learned when we give a source of light on a mirror, that source of light when it falls on the mirror, that is called as angle of incidence, and the reflected light which comes out of the mirror, that is after reflecting on the mirror, when it comes out, it is called as the angle of reflection. Now we are going to see the connection between the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. For that I have set something here. You can see there is a glass bowl here. I did not get a square bowl, and I have mixed soap water in it. I have kept a mirror here, and you can see I have drawn a model of a protractor here. So all the markings are on that, and I have a laser torch in my hand. So teacher is going to show it in such a way that you will be able to see the experiment. So here you have to see from which angle, when I am putting the light, the reflected ray is coming out of which measurement. So you have to record the measurements in your notebook and then find the conclusion. I am using this laser torch. I am going to put the beam onto the mirror, and through the mirror it will reflect and come outside. So what you have to check is, when I am taking each measurement, from which measurement the angle of reflection is coming out, because we are putting soap water so that you can see the rays correctly. So now I am taking 40 as the measurement. Now I am putting the laser torch at 40. So when it is going through 40, you can see the rays are coming out. Now look at the measurement here. Here also the reflected ray is coming out at 40. Now we will change the measurement and keep it 50. When I keep it at 50, here also you can see the rays are touching the mirror here, and it is reflecting and coming out at 50. Now again I will change the measurement and give it 60. Now also you can see that it is coming out at 60. The angle of incidence is going at 60. It is touching the mirror, and it is coming out here also, it is at 60. Now when is the angle of incidence the same? Here you can see that at 90, when I am giving the light there at 90, it is coming back straight, isn't it? So we all know that it is 90 degrees, so it will go straight and it will come back straight. So the angle of incidence and the angle of refraction here will be in a straight line. You will not get an angle that will be a straight line. So I hope you would have understood. So once again we will see. I am giving it at 30. So here also when I am giving at 30, the reflected angle of reflection is also 30. If you have these things, you can try it out at home. But be very careful when you are using a laser torch. The light should not go into your eye. It is very dangerous to play with the laser torch. With the normal torch, you can try it out and see in this way. It won't be very clear, but you will be able to see. So what is your work now? Your work is, you have seen this experiment. In your textbook, there is a table given. So complete that table. If the angle of incidence is 30, then what is the angle of reflection? If the angle of incidence is 40, then what is the angle of reflection? After writing, I have shown you many things here. After writing each measurement, find out, come to the conclusion, what is the connection between angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Come to a conclusion and write your findings in your notebook. So today we have learned what is reflection, what is regular reflection, what is diffuse reflection. We also learned the angle of reflection, angle of incidence, angle of reflection, what is the incident ray, what is the reflected ray, and what is the plane mirror also we saw. So please try to do these experiments from home and write your inferences in your notebook. Thank you, children.